excited to have you up here. My name is Drew Shanebaum. I'm one of the admission reps originally from New Prague. Went to school here, graduated 2019. They couldn't get rid of me, so I'm just hanging out for the time being. But we've got 4, soon to be 5, current students here for you to ask questions, learn more about what it's like being a student, and honestly ask about anything and everything. Like they are more than happy to answer questions about St. Ben, St. John. So, panelists, starting with Zach, if you could please introduce yourself.
I'm Zach. I'm from New Prague, Minnesota, junior here. Social science, mathematics, double major, secondary ed minor. Then I'm a manager for the basketball team, part of numerous clubs, and yeah, just love CSB+SJU.
I'm Sean. I'm a senior nursing major from Maple Grove, Minnesota. I am a nursing department teaching assistant and tutor, and I'm also on the track and field team at St. John's.
He's an All-American. He's pretty good.
Thanks, Drew.
You're welcome.
I'm not. I'm Laura Mitch. I'm a senior. I'm from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. I'm a communication major with an English writing minor. I'm also on the track and field team. I do a lot of music and theater stuff, and then I'm in the all-girls a cappella group as well. And then last semester, I loved the excitement of Greece. Last semester, I was in Greece for 4 months, so that was really cool too. So if you have questions about like study abroad or any of that stuff, ask me.
My name is Con Brady. I'm a senior Bravo Studies major, biology minor. I'm originally from Mililani, Hawaii, but I've moved to Alaska and Idaho since then. I'm involved with a lot of different clubs and former member football team. Also very much into like the outdoor kind of stuff on St. John's. So any questions about that? Yep.
All right, from the crowd, do we have any questions kind of right off the bat?
Our resumes are so impressive.
Yes, one over here. Yes.
What did you do when you were in Greece? Like, what did you study?
I mean, what didn't I do? So with study abroad, there's 16 different semester abroad programs, 6 different continents, everywhere but Antarctica. Not a loss, right? So you could pick programs based on like location, based on what classes you want to take, based on like internship opportunities or service opportunities. I picked it because I wanted to go to Greece. So the classes I took kind of just went toward my general like liberal arts education. Those classes were, I took art history, which is like lots of art in Greece, which was really cool. I took like ancient Greek literature, which was really neat, so like the Iliad and the Odyssey, that kind of stuff, Greek plays. A Greek language class, which was tough, and like Greek history, or like the Greek Orthodox Church history. And then a professor from St. Ben, St. John's came over, and he taught a class about like refugees and migration, because Greece is like a very big entrance country for Europe. So whole range of stuff, and then there was a history class offered as well that I didn't take. And every single study abroad program offers different classes. So I know some people who were in London who took fashion classes, and in London you do an internship, and that's really cool. So lots of options, but yeah, and I traveled a lot, like went to a lot of islands and like climbed Mount Olympus and like did those things. So that's cool too. Aside from the classes were for sure the best part, but everything else was secondary.
Question over here.
Could you just kind of give an overview of the like theater program at St. John's?
Yeah. There's in terms of like what you can be involved in, if you want to be on stage, there's 2 plays in the fall, every fall, and then a play and a musical every spring. You can also work in tech or be a stage manager. Like I've had people be stage managers for shows that I was in, and they were freshmen. So like as soon as being a freshman, because there's 4 shows every year at the least, and then there's like a 24-hour play festival where I don't know if you write the play or you just get a play, but it's all students. So it's directors, our students, actors are students. So you cast the show, put on the show, memorize the show in 24 hours, and so you just like stay up. It's kind of like you die at the end, but like it's fun while it lasts. There's lots of one-acts as well, but like lots of ways to be involved. And you can there's theater scholarships, there's music scholarships, there's art scholarships. So I'm on a theater scholarship. I have to be involved in something theater every semester, whether that's a class or an actual production. So I've done like where I worked in the scene shop. Right now I'm taking an aerial silk stance class. That's a theater credit, and I'm getting money to take the class, which is cool because I'm also like Zendaya in the class. If you've seen The Greatest Showman. But yeah, there's lots of really great opportunities, and like whatever type of theater thing you like to do, like you'll be able to feed that plus explore other realms of it too.
Yes.
You can go.
Question back and then up front.
For choir, did you have to be in choir in high school?
No,
No. Okay.
no, you could literally be the worst singer if you. But everyone can sing. There's lots of different choirs. There's all college choir, which is non-audition, so that's the one that you could be the worst singer, and it's just Monday nights, and it's fun, and it's just like people singing together. There's also women's choir, men's chorus, and chamber choir, which is for anyone and everyone. Those three are all auditions, so they're a little more competitive, but. And then there's the a cappella group, which is a club, and so that you audition separately from the school, and you don't have to be in choir to be involved in that, or have, like, it's not like you submit a resume to get into it, you just show up and sing a song.
Up front here, Zach.
So, kind of different from what we've been talking about. How early and how late are the food halls open?
It definitely depends on which one. Usually so we have basically four main ones because we have two campuses, so you get double resources where you're going to hear it a lot. So you have the main dining halls, which Gretzky's open. I haven't been to Gretzky. I mainly still have classes at St. John's.
Open till 8.
Open till
Gretzky's open till 8. St. John's, the Reef is 7:30, and then you have Sexton and St. John's. In the past, they've been open till 11, but with COVID stuff and like staffing stuff with everything, it's a bit earlier now. Then McGlynn's at St. Ben's is also around 9, I think 10 o'clock.
10 or 11.
10 or 11 at night, so it's not like you're closing at 5, you have no food for the rest of the night, so they're open pretty good hours.
Zach, question.
Is study abroad paid for it all through tuition, or is that all out of pocket?
So the payment for that, it's like overall payments or overall price is like the same as it is for a semester here. Payments are made the same way because we own the programs, you make them through the school. So you really don't have to change anything versus going through an outside or like an external program, getting all those fees and everything figured out. And we have a group on campus, the Center for Global Education, that kind of handles all that stuff. They do a great job, make the application process, once you're into a program, getting all your information set for when you do go abroad, very easy. So really the only things you have to do is apply to the program, you have to do an interview with the professor that's going to be leading the program, and then, buying your ticket, getting your visa. And the professor and Center for Global Education also help with getting your visas figured out. Otherwise, yeah, that's really all there is to it. So we do also have some study abroad specific scholarships available for students if they would like to apply to those. So just, make it a little more affordable. Okay. Any other questions right now? Otherwise, I got a few that I can ask. Yes, Zach.
Does the bus go to St. Cloud, the transportation bus that goes from campuses?
We do have a bus, I think it's every weekend.
We're good, yeah.
Every weekend we have a bus that goes into St. Cloud. I don't know how long it's there for.
I think it drops you off in the morning sometime on I think usually Sunday. It drops you off in the morning. There's a pickup time in the afternoon. It's like 4 or 5 hours in St. Cloud. It drops you off at the Crossroads Mall, so if you there's Targets over there or want to go shopping or Shields, stuff like that. So, yep.
Otherwise, we do have a car rental service available on both campuses through Enterprise. It's like $8 an hour. So if you want to, just head in quick, grab some groceries, hit the mall, catch a movie, whatever it is, pretty cheap to do that as an option as well. So, yes,
Freshmen can have cars.
they can. Yep, freshmen can have cars on campus. Yeah, we have parking available on both for everyone.
It's $75 a semester for a parking pass, so compared to most schools, that's cheap.
Yeah, cheaper than a lot of high schools from what I've heard. So, we
There's
have
also,
sorry, go ahead.
there's no need to have a car. My freshman year, I didn't have a car. You really use it for grocery shopping or going into St. Cloud, but gas is expensive, so mooch off your friends and get right.
And as first years, you're not going to need to go grocery shopping a lot just because you're going to have unlimited plans, so you're going to be able to get in and out of all the dining centers pretty easily. It's more just for snacks or something. So.
Yeah, take advantage of the dining halls. I miss having free meals, honestly.
Yeah.
My gosh. Adulting's hard.
Yeah, don't do it.
so I was, during my freshman year, I was employed through like the student employment office. And they give you like, I don't know how the whole work award thing works, but they give you a work award that tells you like how much you can work or like make in the semester or throughout the year. And then I haven't gone through like the actual like, there's a website or like a web page that tells you like where you can find like all the jobs on campus. And so like you can go to that page for like, especially first years, you can find jobs there, but then as you get into like your like maybe sophomore, junior, senior year, a lot of people just do TAing or like tutoring as their job on campus, which I'm doing right now. And so that's just through like your departments, but in terms of like actual finding jobs, like yeah, there's a place on a website somewhere. I don't know, I haven't been there in a while, so. But that's where you can find one, but yeah, most of the time upperclassmen just do tutoring, which is a really nice gig. It's only like 2 to 6 hours a week, so it's not that big of a time commitment and you still make money, so. And I think actually the wage just went up for a lot of workers, like 12, it's like $12.50 now, which is actually really good. It used to be like 10, so.
Yeah.
Pretty beneficial to have a job on campus.
For all of you being incoming first years, if you qualify for the work award though, you will be getting an email from the financial aid office to the link with that, because you get first dibs. So, I mean, if you don't want to clean toilets and empty trash cans, like you don't have to, unless you really
That's
want
pretty
to.
fun though.
It builds character, so
Great.
but not an option if you don't want to do it. Otherwise, yeah, like Sean, he is a TA. Zach, Laura, Khan, they are all tour guides. So there are some, I don't know if any of you are actually taking groups out today, but you may recognize them from when you were up on campus before, but that's a job available. There's, being working in the writing center, helping people with writing papers, doing research. I worked as a videographer for the St. Ben's athletic department. So I would go to games, I would record footage, make highlight videos, post them online. That was my job. So a lot of different things available. And sorry, I feel like I'm just like commandeering this
No.
student, but okay.
All that's based on your FAFSA, so if you haven't submitted your FAFSA, do that first,
Thanks.
and then everything will follow from there.
Good point. All right. Question, panelists. So we have seniors here looking to, some of you have already decided on school. Congratulations, welcome, we're excited to have you. But some still deciding what in the end made you choose St. Ben's and St. John's. I know you never hear this question, Laura, so
Never in my lifetime.
yeah. So Zachary, let's start.
Darn it, I was hoping you'd start with con.
All right, you can start.
So what made me do my final decision? I came here twice, I think, or how many tours did I do? I did 2 or 3 tours of the campuses, and then on my final tour, I was down to 2 schools, and I just kind of wanted to feel what the campus was like with students on campus again, and just meet all the people that I've been talking through or talking to the entire admission process. And it just felt right, everything came together in terms of my priorities and what I wanted in the school, the size of the school, how much financial aid I was getting, just the people I was interacting with, they all were invested in me. So I just felt that it was the perfect place, and in the end I was just so excited. That was the biggest feeling that I got out of it, is that I was so excited to get there. So then I'm yeah, I made the right decision.
Yeah, I was very indecisive. I think I toured 14 schools in total after trying to make a decision. Yeah, I toured every school in Minnesota and the surrounding states. And so, so this is actually the last school I toured. And I remember I had very specific qualifications for schools. I was trying to find a school that had a nursing program that was very well respected in the state. And also I wanted to run track in college, so that was another factor of okay, probably not good enough to go D1 or D2, so gotta find a D3 school somewhere. But ultimately I think the thing that got me the most was the nursing program here is first of all very well respected in the state. It's number 2 in the state. And the class size is actually super small, so the interaction you make with professors and other classmates is insane. You do become a family here. And then the other thing that kind of was my pushover factor was that a lot of my coaches in high school were Johnny and Benny's alums, so I was able to ask them all these questions and their experiences here. But then too, Jeremy, the head coach of the track and field team, was the only track coach to ever reach out and try to get to know me personally before I actually even accepted decided to come here. So that was kind of why I came here. And then after coming here, connections you make with professors too is just ridiculous. I think I've had like at least all my professors offer like letters of recommendations or like, you know, contact information for after college if I ever need anything. Like the community here is honestly just fantastic.
And those small class sizes, they cap at 36 students, and the average is 19 to 20, so it's a good size. You get to know people. For me though, so I went to a really small Catholic high school, middle school, elementary school. I graduated with 50, and I was like, I'm so done with the small Catholic education. Like, get me out. And here I am. So clearly there were things that I liked. But like ultimately when I toured, like you can, and you'll hear like community everywhere. Like our sense of community, I think, is something that's just like a step above the rest. And I genuinely think that all the best people in the world decided to be Betty's and Johnny's. It's weird, but like it's true. Like I don't get it. I don't know why here, but like everyone here is so great, and like everyone here is so involved in things. And I think that college is such a unique time when you have so many resources and so many opportunities just at your disposal that you'll never have at another time in your life. So the fact that the people here really choose and like take advantage of these opportunities, like it just kind of goes to show like type of people that come here, and it's just like you feel like you're a part of something better than yourself. And the resources that are available, everyone tells you about them, because a resource is only a resource if you know about it, right? So then it's really easy to take advantage of these things. And so you can get involved in all these really cool things. You're surrounded by all these really wonderful people, and I think your environment really shapes the type of person you are and just like allows you to grow. And so I like honestly think that being at St. Ben's like has allowed me to be the best version of myself, and just like really is like a thriving environment. So long-winded. That's why I decided to come here, because I feel like I'm the best version of me now that I'm here. So yeah.
I get to go last. That's a lot of just echoing what everyone else has said so far. Community, as Laura said, that's huge. That's a really big thing that I didn't feel on like a lot of my other visits. And same thing as like what Sean said, a lot of different qualifications. Like I wanted to do football. We're not at like the D1, D2 level. I thought we're still very good. And this is for all athletics too. We're D3, but very, very good at our D3 athletics program. The academic environment I wanted, the small class sizes, the major I'm in. And if you talk to me personally, I'll talk a lot about the Arboretum. I like that. So having like a 3,000 acre wilderness space, if you're in a science major, being able to like go to a lab and like take water samples from the lake, do soil samples, wildlife observations for like biology, environmental studies, or something similar, that's a huge resource to have on campus that you basically won't see that anywhere else. Plus it's just great for recreation too. If it's like been a long day, you can go to the beach, go fishing, go on a hike, and it's just 5 minutes from your dorm. So I think that's a pretty big thing to have. So.
Anyone? Does anyone get that reference? Not too old for that. Alright, okay, good, appreciate it.
Could you talk a little bit, like, kind of like how the meal plans work? Because you mentioned, was it like free meals first year or something like that?
Kind of. So as a freshman and sophomore, you're on an unlimited meal plan, and there's two types of dining centers on campus. Primary ones, which is the Reef here, and then Gretzky at St. Ben's. And secondary dining centers, which would be Sexton here and McGlynn's at St. Ben's. And so the primary ones you have unlimited access to, and it's buffet style. So I don't know if any of you have heard of the term freshman 15 before. You have access, yeah, right. You have access to so much food. We're overachievers. We call it the Benny Johnny 20. Don't let that scare you. It's just like, how do you say no to food? Like when there's desserts available for every single meal, like you take desserts for every single meal. It's what you have to do. But anyway, so you have unlimited access to all of the primary dining centers. So you can go there as many times a day as you want, take as much food as you want. Like you could grab a banana, or you could grab like 3 plates of food. Like it won't make a difference. So like unlimited, go crazy. So that's why we say like free meals, because like you can just keep swiping your ID and keep going in, and it's not going to make a difference. Secondary ones, McGlynn's and Sexton, they're kind of like sports like cafe kind of things. Like you have a grill line, a sub sandwich line, and then different specials. So like wings sometimes, burrito bowls during the day at St. John's, like it's good stuff, right? Those you only get 1 meal a day at. 1 meal a day doesn't sound like a lot, right? But lunch and dinner for the primary ones tend to be similar menus. So I say like do breakfast, lunch at the primary ones, maybe dinner at the secondary one, or breakfast, dinner at the primary ones, lunch at the secondary one. I forget about the secondary ones a lot. I'll go to them because like I'm really in the mood for a burrito, or I'm really in the mood for wings, or a really good like sub sandwich. So that's kind of how that works. And then also with your meal plan, you get flex dollars. I think it's the same for Benny's and Johnny's, 150.
It's like a debit card.
Yeah, so with your ID, it's like like a debit card. So you have like $150 a semester for kind of like treat yourself stuff. So if you're a really big coffee drinker, there's coffee shops on campus. With that also have like coffee, tea, smoothies, donuts, muffins, all the good stuff. So you don't have to drink coffee. And then the secondary dining centers also kind of function like a convenience store. So you can get chips, snacks, ramen, like grab and go things. So you can use your flex dollars for that as well.
You can also use your flex dollars at the cafe, right?
Yeah.
I remember that from last time.
Yep.
And then once you get into apartment style housing, there's other like meal plans available to you, and that's all on the dining website, and then you can just pick the one that you think you're gonna like get the most for your money out of. So I know like I went with, I think it's called the 80 block plan, I think, because I'll like have most of my meals in my apartment since I have a kitchen now, but I still want to be able to go to a dining hall because there's just inevitably gonna be meals where I'm like, I don't want to cook and I want to just go eat. So that's what I did this semester. So once you get to junior, senior year, there's more options available too. But just appreciate having meals cooked for you.
Question here and then over.
How does the apartment style housing work?
I can speak a little bit to St. John's. So housing selection after your first year, you'll get like this random number. There's a range of numbers for first years, sophomores, juniors, and then that's your lottery number. And then based off your lottery number between you, your roommate, or like however many people you're living with, then once it comes time for you to select housing, you'll get like all the options available to you with your lottery number, and then you'll pick housing that way. So this coming year, my roommate had the best number, like he had the third best number among juniors, so I got apartment style housing and we ended up in a really nice place. But yeah, it's all based off your lottery number, and then yeah, junior, senior year, there's just a ton of apartment style housing, and then yeah, it'll just be like probably you and 3 other roommates is the most common thing, 4-person apartments. So, and I've had really good experiences, so highly recommend it, living with your best friends.
It's kind of how it works for St. Ben's too. The older you get, the nicer the housing is. So freshman year, you're in the character building essential dorm, right? Sophomore year is a more glorified version of a dorm, or a suite in some cases, which would have a living room, bathroom, maybe your own bedroom, but no kitchen still. And then junior and senior year is when you have like full apartment access. So kitchen, living room, bathroom, bedrooms, your own bedrooms. And there's like some really nice stuff. Like right now I'm living in an apartment. It's 4 of us, so we each have our own room. Nice living room space, nice kitchen, 2 bathrooms, like really fun. And there's the variations too for like what style of housing you can live in, but that's the way it works.
Question over here.
Looking back to when you guys were freshmen, is there anything you like encourage the incoming freshmen to do, or like want us to do that you guys maybe didn't do, or like really enjoyed doing when you guys were freshmen?
Like as freshmen?
Yeah.
I can kind of take this one. I think like if I had to go back and kind of do this all over again, I would really encourage myself to get outside of my comfort zone. Like especially my freshman year, I was very like, I don't know, still just hesitant about being in college, or maybe just like, you know, scared to fully embrace like the college life, or like, you know, explore different like avenues that I wanted to, like different clubs or activities or stuff like that. Cause like when you push yourself outside your comfort zone too, you meet all these amazing people that, you know, I wish I could have met sooner. Cause there have been people that I met in junior and senior year that are like, oh, I was a part of this when I was a freshman. I'm like, wow, I could have met you like 2 years ago and we could have had like all this more time together, but you know, just cause I'm meeting you now, we have this little bit of time left. But so yeah, I would kind of encourage that, like go out of your way to like meet new people, like on the link, start a conversation. Like that could be your best friend in 2 years or the next couple of weeks, like you never know. So I would, yeah, that'd probably be my biggest advice, just really try to push yourself. I mean, I know it is hard, but if you can at all, put yourself in a situation that, you know, expand your boundaries a little bit. That's probably the thing I would tell myself as a freshman.
Yeah, and going off of that, just like get involved in things. Get involved in at least one thing. I don't care what it is, but do it. Because you make friends, and like freshman year, homesickness is a thing, and like people get nervous, and like you're not gonna immerse in college or make friends if you're in your dorm room. So like get the hell out of there. And then also, sorry. Then also have a really open mind. for sure what you want to study right now. Yeah, that's no shame. Cool. Good job. But like, if you're taking those classes and you're like, I hate this so much, try something else. Like, I think it's really easy to get excited about your future and like have a plan. And if it's not going how you think it's going to be going, like, don't feel like you're bound to that immediately. I came into college undecided. I didn't know what I want to major in, and I think that was like so fun. Like some majors you can't do that. Like with nursing, you kind of have to know. Education, it's nice to know. But like it's a liberal arts education, so you're going to take a lot of really cool classes in a lot of different areas. And so if you come in undecided, you're kind of just like, you just try a bunch of stuff, and then you find something that you love, and like you're not really bound to anything right away, which I think is good. So just like have an open mind and get out of your room.
And say also don't be afraid to switch majors. Like
Yeah.
that's like a lot of people are hesitant to switch majors, but like sophomore and freshman year, like it's very easy to switch majors. I had one friend that switched majors 5 times, so like it's possible to switch. And she's still graduating in 4 years, so.
I absolutely loved what both of these two had to say. I'd say like Sean really summed it up really well. Getting out of your comfort zone. I think my biggest thing is as a freshman, I was really scared. Like I'm an introvert at heart, believe it or not. And I just like could not bring myself to like spark up a conversation. Just go out in a place where I'm like not like I would say that it's not my place. But like everywhere on these campuses is your place. Like you're welcome everywhere. And there's never gonna be a time in your life when you're here 4 years. You can take so many little risks and grow so much. It's such a high reward environment. You're just gonna get so much out of it if you push yourself. So I think both of these two just did a great job on hitting on that. So
Yeah. I also like Laura's thing, just pick one thing. Like one thing to put yourself out there and like that's enough.
the small things add up.
And then you can do more too. Like my freshman year is a little aggressive. I was in a show, I was in the a cappella group, I had a job on campus, I was in track, and I was also a student. And so like for me, I was drowning a little bit, but I was like, I want to do it all. And I could, like I could do it all, but it was just like, sometimes it's nice to just start slow and then like you build up. And the amount of events that are on campus too, like we bring in a lot of speakers and like cool people, like go to the events. You like, there's so many opportunities for life-changing experiences just like every single day on campus. So like those are only gonna happen if you take advantage of them and go to them. So like when there's the announcements, you'll get like emails every day of like, this speaker's coming, this event is happening, this panel, blah, 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 blah. Read it, like read the email, and then like go to the events because they're actually really, really cool. And I think it's like easy to look over those. Like a lot of things to do, I don't have time for a speaker, but like they're like big deals. Like we have some really cool people come on campus, so like go to those too, I think.
And a lot of them have free food or stuff, so it's all about the free things in college.
There was a question back yonder. I don't know if you still
I
have it.
think there was
It
stretching.
was
Oh,
during-
yeah.
No, it was during the food stuff. I was just gonna ask if like the like credit, like the card thing you were talking about, does that transfer
The
over?
flex dollars?
Yeah, does that transfer over for semesters?
Unfortunately not. So, but the fun thing is you can buy in bulk at the end of the semester. So they will be like selling like big things of like Gatorade or
Monster.
yeah, whatever you want, like
Yeah.
fruit snacks. So, but 150 honestly tends to be like the perfect amount. I feel like you figure out how to balance it, and it's good.
And you can reload it if you did. So, yes.
Is the gym open all the time, or are there like restricted hours, or how does that work?
It's pretty good hours. It's open opens like 5:30, 6 in the morning, opens like 11 at night. So if you like have class all day or need to do it early in the morning, late at night, it's definitely pretty good hours. And you can work out at both too. So it's like what's the one at St. Ben's, like with classes, and you go between, or the ones at St. John's. So pretty easy access for all of that.
Yeah, and it's not like athletes don't get special treatment. So that space is just as much yours as it is theirs, which is really nice.
For your classes, how often do you have to go between campuses, or like how many are kind of rooted in one place?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, well, especially your first year too, like, my classes are more split between both campuses just because you're like taking a more diverse like kind of range of classes. But as you get more towards your major, or like in your upperclassmen years, you usually focus on either the St. John's or St. Ben's campus. Especially for nursing, I'm in the main like 90% of the time. So, and then I know like a lot of like communications, business, accounting is on this campus, and then like chemistry, biology's here, but chemistry, like nursing, education, more on St. Ben's. Like if you're in those majors, you spend most of your time there. So, first year and sophomore year is kind of back and forth, like at least once or twice a day, and then upperclassmen years is you're usually on one campus.
And on average, you only have like 2 classes a day, so it's not like it's going to be a crazy ping pong match if you're going
Right.
back and forth between the 2 campuses. It's like you start the morning at St. John's, you have a class at St. Ben's, and then you come back to St. John's. There it is. You know, that's the day.
And the least amount of time that you can have between classes is 35 minutes between getting back and forth, so that's at least time for 2 different scheduled lengths to come and pick you up, so.
The classes on each campus are staggered, so they work with the bus system, so, yeah, like Zach said, you have plenty of time to get from St. John's to St. Ben's, vice versa, for classes.
Do you know what campus has most of the like history department?
That's
I think St.
too
Ben's.
bad.
It's mostly in the HAB at St.
Yeah,
Ben's.
yeah.
It's
Well,
kind of,
like
sorry, I was gonna say, it's kind of split 50-50 where departments are housed. So like, we have, business, accounting, finance all over here, but then economics is over at St. Ben's. Like for sciences, biology's over here, chemistry's over at St. Ben's, so there's quite a bit of back and forth depending on what your major is or what, your field is. And then just like for general classes, yeah, you typically go back and forth pretty often.
Okay.
So you all are involved in activities other than just your classes. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but being a manager, being in track, being in football, with classes, everything on top of that, how do you manage your time, or how easy is it to manage all these different activities throughout the year?
It takes practice. My freshman year, I was really bad at time management. I would start 6-page papers at midnight. Don't do it. It doesn't work well. But like, so in college, well, first of all, like in high school, you're taking like what 6, 7, 8 classes a day, right? Like, ooh. And then if you're involved in something, so you have like these classes like 7 to 3, and then you go to practice or rehearsal or a job, whatever it is, and then like at 10, you're doing your homework, and it's just kind of like nonstop, right? In college, you take an average of maybe 4 classes a semester, which is 2 a day. So you'll have classes like A and B Monday, Wednesday, Friday, C and D on Tuesday, Thursday. And the classes last for an hour and a half. So you have 2-3 hours of class a day in a 24-hour day. And like they say, for every hour of class, you have about an hour and a half of homework or so. Like that's not a rule, but that's just kind of like in general. So it could be more, it could be less. So I find that being involved in things kind of helps split up my day, because otherwise, if I have at 8 a.m. and then at 10 a.m., at 11 o'clock I go, well, I have the whole day to do homework, and then all of a sudden it's midnight like it was my freshman year, and I'd go, oh, well, where did my day go? I have to do homework. So it's nice because then like you have your classes, and then you can kind of separate it. So like I know I have track at like 4 to 6 every day or so, and so like I do homework before then, and then I know I'm gonna get it's like my day's kind of a little more blocked out. And then my best advice I could give too is kind of like try and schedule out your day, and that's gonna help with time management. The really nice thing is freshman year too, you're gonna be in a class that's kind of like, welcome to college, here's how it works. And so they give you a lot of tips and tricks for managing time. They introduce you to all the resources on campus, so they kind of help you succeed as a college student, which also makes managing time a little better. But I think that honestly being involved in things makes managing your time easier because it helps section out your day as opposed to just like having the whole day to lollygag and not really do anything.
I would say find a time where you're like most productive with like homework. Like I think a lot of people end up like doing their homework at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. I found that wasn't great for me. I'm much more productive like waking up at 5 a.m. and like getting it done. I can do it a lot faster, so I'm not wasting much time just sitting there trying to figure out stuff. So find like what is like midday, early in the morning, late at night. Find when you're most productive and sort of set that aside for like your homework or schoolwork so you get it done a lot faster.
And you probably have more time than you think. Like my first year, I thought that I wouldn't have time for an on-campus job, and then I ended up like spending like 3-4 hours in the gym every day. So then I'm like, wow, I really do have a lot more time than I think. And yeah, like you just figure out your study habits, figure out when you are most productive, and all the tips that Laura and Con hit on, they'll take you very far in terms of how much you get done in a day.
Yes.
What's the most amount of classes that each of you have had in one semester? Like per day, that makes sense.
I think it depends, 'cause some classes are worth like a separate amount of credits, and so most people just have 4, because usually each class, regular class is worth 4 credits, so just 4 at 16. I did have one semester where I had 18. I had 3 standard ones, and then I had 2 2 credits, and then 2 1 credits, so using math, that's like 7. And so obviously those smaller credit ones, they don't assign as much homework. Most of the time it's something you're interested in. Like one of the classes, I get to go canoeing for 3 hours, so it's like, that's not a class. But outdoor adventure education, really fun. Get to go canoeing, skiing, rock climbing, fun stuff. But anyway, yeah. Usually it just depends on how you want to make your schedule. You can just keep it every year or every semester. You just have those 4 classes, or you can mix up a bit, have those classes which are more focused on something, but not as much work that's affiliated with it. So.
That's what my schedule looks like right now. I'm taking 7 classes. I also just like really love to learn. So you can take anywhere from 12 to 18 credits. So like every semester I've done 18 credits because I'm like, I want to take advantage of it because it costs the same to do 12 to 18. So you could do as little as like 3 4-credit classes. On average, people do 4 4-credit classes. But I'm doing the 3 4-credit classes, 2 2-credit classes, and then 2 1-credit classes. And like one other class, it's like an art class, a dance class. I'm taking piano and voice lessons, and then like doing my final like research project thing is like one of my big classes. So yeah, you can make it happen.
Yeah, I've been taking 18 credits a lot during college, and like it's not overbearing at all. And then like my next semester in the fall, my schedule turned out where I'm basically gonna have a 4-day weekend just because all my 4-credit classes fell on Tuesday, Thursday. So I get like Monday and Friday completely off. I don't have to wake up until 1 if I don't want to. So that works out really nice too. And yeah, you just get to play around with your schedule, which is really nice after your first semester. Getting to register for classes, it's like one of my favorite things.
So another thing we had talked about a little bit coming in undecided, obviously some of you have an idea of what you want to do, some don't. Laura, you were undecided. Sean, I know you were looking specifically for a nursing program. Zach kind of figured you knew when you came in. But talking about that, coming in, trying to figure out what you want to do, the resources available, you guys want to harp on that a little bit?
Yeah, I'll start with me because nursing is a little different. So if you have like any thoughts about doing nursing, I would just kind of come in as a nursing major so you can start that track. It's way easier to switch out of the nursing major than it is to switch in. So if you're considering it at all, start as a nursing major, and then you can always just swap to a different major if you realize after your first semester it's just not what you want to do. Otherwise, if you don't come in, it's really hard to get into like the schedule again because from like your first semester they have you on the schedule. So that's my advice for that. But then I already heard the question. What was it in terms of like just deciding?
Like resources?
Yeah, and then
Oh,
resources.
yes. So you're also paired with like an academic advisor your first year. Super helpful. You meet with them. I guess it's different because the curriculum kind of has changed since like seniors. We have different curriculum than like the first years and sophomores. But we had like a first year seminar which we met with our like academic advisor like probably 3 or 4 times throughout the semester. And they help you plan like what classes, like they help you figure out like what you're interested, what you're not interested in. And they really help you just like give you a bunch of different resources of like, you know, like here's like a skills like assessment type thing of like what you're interested, what you're good at, and then you can find a major based off of that. And so they do have a lot of good resources. I know we have like the career like XPD office that has tons of resources for like interest surveys or like
Career service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would take advantage of that too as well because they do have lots of good resources for that too. But yeah, I just wanted to put that in piece on nursing because it is kind of one of those majors, along with education too. I would, if you're thinking of those 2 majors, I would probably start as them and then switch out if you don't want to do those.
So we're touching on that XPD that Sean mentioned, that's the experiential professional development. So basically, if you want to looking for like on-campus jobs, or you need to looking for jobs, internships during the summer, or like post-college career, they can help with like applications, resumes. If you want to study abroad, they can help with all that kind of stuff too. And like they have this big network of like St. John's, St. Ben's alumni. So if you're looking to go into such a career field, there's like business, physics, biology, they can like pair you with someone already in that field. The former Benny or Johnny, they can pair you with someone to get, you can sort of figure out the lay of the land, sort of look at what career choices are available. And it's never too early to look. Like I know I definitely took advantage of that sophomore year and then started building up. So now I have a job lined up, and that's always good. So and plus our alumni everywhere. Like we just had an alumni who was literally just in space. So it's like so many people get said. There's a guy who's like working national security in the Biden administration. The current CEO of Best Buy is a former Benny. So they're literally everywhere. So people that they contact with. So yeah.
And XPD also is a lifelong resource that is offered. So I just realized this last week, but I've been meeting with XPD because I'm trying to figure out where I want to go this next year. And they were like, also, like, you feel free to reach back out to us, like, in a few years, too, if, like, you need help again. And I was like, wait, but I'll be graduated, like, and they're like, yeah, it's still totally, like, they just helped a woman who was doing a job transition. She's in her 50s, and she reached out to XPD, and she was like, hi, like, can you help look at my resume and, like, help me with the job search? And they were like, absolutely. So, like, that's really cool. I know, isn't that neat?
I didn't know that.
So, yeah, it's, like, something you can always reach out to, and, like, I don't know, thinking about jobs is scary, right? So then, like, and the likelihood of you finding a job and staying with it your whole life is also, like, not that likely. So it's fun because you always have this resource to come back to. So it's really amazing. It helps you as early as freshman year until the day that you die.
Yeah, really make resource of your academic advisor. My academic advisor is like my best friend. I absolutely love her. I love going and talking to her. But I knew like I came in with some college credits, which really helped with like the whole double major thing because I had a lot on my plate. So if you come in with any college credits, that's gonna help a lot. And I just always say when you come to college, like try to get the most out of it, like whatever you're interested in, go for it, even if it's just one class, just to figure out like if you truly do wanna go, just try it out. That's the really nice thing about a liberal arts college like CSB+SJU too, is that you get to try it all out.
If we have no other questions, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm pretty hungry. We got food, lunch